Julian Edelman will miss approximately 3 weeks of football due to a thumb injury, which will put him out for training camp and the first preseason game of the year. I'm Sierra Goodwill here with Evan Lazar and Alex Barth. Guys, first of all, just how worrisome is this, or is it more so not really the biggest deal?
I don't think this is a big deal at all, honestly. Yeah. So is there any player on this team that can miss a couple of weeks of training camp? It's probably Julian Edelman. It's basically become club med for a lot of these veteran players. You know, we saw it with Gronkowski when he was still here. You know, treated these guys with some bubble wrap. There's no reason to kind of get, Julian Edelman too dinged up this time of year. He doesn't need to work on chemistry with Tom Brady. I think they got that box checked. He doesn't need to take any unnecessary hits either, seeing that he's going to get targeted 150 times over the regular season. So let N'Keal Harry, let Philip Dorsett, let Braxton Berrios, let those guys get some of these reps and get up to speed with Tom Brady. Let Julian Edelman hang out. I don't think this is a big deal at all.
Yeah, Mark Daniels from the Providence Journal followed up that report a day later when we found out he was missing camp, that it's just a mild injury, and it sounds like the kind of thing where, and we've heard this term before, if he needed to be out there, he would be out there. Julian Edelman is a true roster lock. He's going to make this football team. Evan ran through all the checklists. He's worked with Brady, yada, yada, yada. You know, anytime a receiver, especially a hands catcher like Edelman, has something wrong with his thumb, you want to pay attention to it. I don't want to say that it's nothing, but in terms of the outlook of the 2019 season and will he be ready for week 1, I don't think this factors into it that much.
And if you look at Edelman, you shouldn't be too worried about his fitness level. And if you saw him at camp, he was throwing the ball around with some kids. He has, like you said, if he needed to be out there, he would be. We saw what happened when he played in the preseason game 2 years back.
That was my first thought when I saw this report, was actually like, all right, cool, it's one less guy.
Would anybody be that upset if we didn't see Julian Edelman until Pittsburgh?
No, not at all.
Would it really be that big of a deal?
That's what everyone was saying about, like you said, like about Gronk. Just sit him out the first 4 weeks of the regular season. You only need him.
Julian, we'll see you on Thanksgiving, all right?
Exactly. He'll come back when Gronk comes back.
Yeah, exactly. But it is a good opportunity, like you mentioned, for the other wide receivers in training camp to get extra reps and to build that chemistry for Tom Brady. So who benefits the most from Edelman sitting out?
Well, I think that Braxton Berrios might be the guy that directly benefits the most, right? Because they play similar positions. But I really think this is all about N'Keal Harry. Like, this is going to be the N'Keal Harry show offensively now out there at training camp, other than, Tom Brady, obviously. It's going to be how do those two look together, because you're not going to have Edelman flying around out there, kind of taking some of the headlines of, oh, look how good the Super Bowl MVP looks. It's going to be all N'Keal Harry all the time, I think, here in training camp. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because then he can just get force-fed a bunch of targets from Tom Brady, and Brady doesn't have to worry about working with this guy Edelman. So I think that N'Keal Harry is the one that maybe sees a little bit more headlines because of this. But Berrios, Maurice Harris, I think those are some of the guys that might see a little bit more snaps than they would have if Edelman was healthy.
I'm looking at Braxton Berrios. This could be a make or break summer for him, like it was for Julian Edelman early on in his career.
Yeah.
And remember, he made that team behind Wes Welker, and as a returner, Julian Edelman was still, from what we saw in minicamp and OTAs, one of the Patriots' top returners on the depth chart. So Braxton Berrios is going to have a number of ways to prove he belongs on this team. He's going to get a number of priority snaps, a number of priority reps without Julian Edelman on the field. So we were all hyped for him last year. He ends up on IR. He takes his red shirt year. This is a big, big camp for Braxton Berrios, and he just got, unfortunately for Julian Edelman, but that's how it works in the NFL. One man's misfortune is another man's chance. Braxton Berrios just got a huge break heading into training camp.
And this segment was brought to you by betonline.ag. Head to clnsmedia.com/win. Enter promo code CLNS50 for 50% added back to your sportsbook payroll. For more updates on Julian Edelman and all of our training camp coverage, head to our website at clnsmedia.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel at CLNS Media.